Everybody, welcome back. We're doing another Marvel Future Revolution video. In this one, we're going to be doing a couple things. One of them real quick. We got another sort of announcement from the developers after Dev Note 7. A couple things I'm going to tell you that I think you should be doing right now, or at least considering. And we're also going to do a real quick, well, I guess for Hafsen and I real quick, because normally we talk for a couple hours. We'll try to do it quick where we're going to run through some of the things, how we feel about it, and get some thoughts and feedback rankings on these changes that are coming. So if you're new to the channel, check out the Discord link in the description below. Hammer down like button, click notification bells, all that sort of thing, and let's get to it.
Let me see. 11!
Yes!
11,
You nailed it! I knew you were gonna get it. Oh, that's why I love you so much.
Bring me WolverThor!
All right, so today they had another announcement. This is why I'm doing this quick video. They basically are saying, and I want to make this clear, this stuff is coming before the next week. So all of these things, get ready for, right? Dark Zone, they're going to increase the buffs for some of the, or the stats on some of the villains. So they're going to be harder as we get leveled up. So when you're in there to start, recognize before you get to 120 that those bosses are going to be harder. Training grounds, the levels of villains in Sakaar training grounds are going to be increased along with the maximum hero level. So I'm hoping there's another spot so we can keep going to 120. Great, rah. Specialization, this is going to cover this in a second as well. I've been preaching about this for a while. Relieve the stress because of the failures. They're going to find they're basically, anyone who's experiencing these specialization enhancements, bonus rates will be provided in the respective stage where enhancement has failed, depending on the number of failures. Okay, so they're trying to fix it. And the next week, save your specializations. I've been saying this for so long and people aren't doing it. Please save it. Raids, we're going to get 2 more difficulties. Are they going to be difficult? They're not. For level 4 and 5 going to be added. Excited. I hope they're not auditable. Sales of some items in the dark domain shop are going to come to an end. Along, basically, the discontinued products for the Mega War token shop is going to be the level 100 and 110 3 to 6s, and they're going to do the same in the Dark Zone token shop. They're getting rid of the 3 to 6 badges. What they're going to do in both of them, in Omega War, you're going to still have a level 100 and 110, but it's going to be from 4 to 6, which is smart because it's impossible to get good badges. So get rid of that 3-star crap. Thank you. And then they're also adding level 120s. So for one more reason why I was trying to save currency and get people to save currency, because the level cap was coming. So save. There's reasons that I typically try to throw that out there. Dark Zone token shop, again, it's now just 120, level 120, 4 to 6 stars. I saved all my dark tokens for this. All right, so Dark Zone tokens. Required tokens decreased. So for the level 100s and 110s used to be 150 and then 100 after. Used to be 300 before. Now it's going to be 200. What my hope is that means the level 120s are going to be 300, because I think they realize if they keep increasing the amount that these cost, that they need to increase the amount that we get. So they sort of are like, okay, let's lower the price of those, and then maybe each time one comes in, they just set it at 300. That's the right thing to do, in my opinion. So that's what they got there. So again, real quick recap for some, well, actually some of it's new. 1, level your tunes to 110. Okay, get there, whether it's through Dark Domain or the training grounds. But while I said that, I want you to think before you just level them, because if we knew, there's 4 areas coming in this patch, right? 4. Does that get you from 110 to 120? I think it should. I feel like each one of those should be a few levels, but there's a chance you might need to use some training grounds. So before you use all your tickets on your alts, consider saving those so you can get your main character to 120 as quick as you can. All right, so think about that. Now, having said that, sometimes what you're able to do is preload tickets that carry over. So if you bought tickets and preload them, they actually might let you use them in the following week. So think about that. I don't know how it works. I've not tried to do it. I know it works with raids, where if the day before, like, I don't want to run these raids 3 times, but I'm gonna load it up. I'll get 2, then the next day you could technically run 5 if you want. So it's actually a really nice way to do that. I already talked about saving specializations. I talked about the training tickets. Again, I covered kind of how that's going to go. I talked to preloading. And then now we're going to get Tony on the line and talk to him about some of this patch stuff, right? Let's check it out. Mr. Half Sand, thank you for joining us. Love you as always. Doing good? Like it?
Zang.
I like it. I like it. So we're talking the dev notes from the other day. You've done a video. I've done a video. I want to talk to you because I love you and I like our conversations, and I want to do some sort of like going through these. I want to hear from you. Scale 1 to 10 type of thing. We'll develop into some conversation. Maybe we'll see on these new additions. You down? Okay.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I like it. All right. So first up, we've got some new fields of play for leveling. We've got the Netherworld and Niflheim. Obviously the realms of Hela and Mephisto. Scale 1 to 10. 1 being poopy, 10 being you cannot wait to get in there. Where you landing?
Oh man, I know this is gonna be unpopular opinion, but a 4 for this. And let me tell you why.
Yep, I do want to know.
Last time I did this, it was content. It was well done, I think. The cutscenes, everything was great, but it was something on our main character. We literally played through it one time, never to be seen again. The content was just dead after that. Like I felt like they could have used the zones for more than just putting most wanted in there. It was short-term gratification. Like you play through it once, you get to experience it, and then it was months later until I brought another character through that I got to experience it again, which was okay. The second time was all right. Yeah, I wish they had a way to, if they knock it out of the park, like I would like them to be able to reuse the zone in some way, I guess.
Yeah,
in my mind, I think it's really wild that they created a training zone when they have all these areas in here where people were farming anyway.
Yeah, you almost could have, like, you could use this same zone, give somebody, I'll call it an elixir, that somehow makes it so they can get additional XP from mobs.
Yeah.
You've got 3 hours worth of elixirs per week. You know, it's like, it's already there, right? You just go do it whenever you want. But yeah, that's
making like the training grounds like separate from like where we were farming already. It just seems like a miss. They could have. It doesn't.
This is here.
Map out.
Go do it.
Yeah.
Let's go do it. Drink your elixir. You get X number more percentage of XP points. You're good to go.
I'm excited. I don't have any skin in the game with Mephisto. He's not like a villain I'm like a fanboy over.
Okay.
However, I'm excited about just to see how that fight plays out. I'm hoping that means that we get to have a I feel like Netmarble is learning us as we go in. Well, I say that, and they hit it with Thanos invasion, and then the other ones got easier.
Yeah.
So I say that to say this. I'm hoping that Hela will have some interesting mechanics and it will be fun. And the fact that they mentioned her last makes me feel like she'll be the
raid boss.
Maybe Mephisto's the 115 and she's the 120.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Well, since they're both getting introduced, we're also getting a new companion. It's not in these dev notes, but I'm dropping this on you. Ghost Rider, new companion coming to the game. How excited are you for him?
2.
Yeah.
It's a new companion, and from a hey, I'll garner some stats from him. I'm not a Ghost Rider fanboy either.
Okay.
And I feel like this also means that he won't be usable in the game any other way anytime soon.
Yep.
So
so you're not feeling it.
It doesn't do anything for me. Like any of the companions, you literally, I don't know. I think the companions, there's certain companions I think might be neat to have in the game, but this isn't one of them for me.
Okay. All right. I am semi more excited than you are. What I would not be excited for is if every companion they introduce becomes a new meta that you have to get to be able to compete. That would be really annoying given how difficult it is to level them.
And I wasn't sure if that was the case until I leveled Daredevil and Spider-Man. I got to see that they were statistically just a little bit better than the last set of the Eternals when they you know what I mean? You can just tell, like, statistically there was a benefit to having them if you were somebody that was a completionist or something.
Yeah, so. I got you. All right, so next up they've got a new Blitz.
Okay.
1 to 10. How excited are you?
Well, I'll tell you this: if they overhaul the entire Blitz system, I would give it a 9. But if it is just because it's now, I'm just over Dormammu all the time.
Yeah, just something different to run.
Yeah, I'll give it a 6.
Okay.
Just because I hope that they overhaul Blitz as a whole and make all of the Blitzes a 110 option to farm badges.
Yep.
And until if that happens and we see where we get to like learn to appreciate when we go in and do that Blitz instead of having it be this thing we do daily 5 times every day. I don't know, on auto.
Yep.
But
I gotcha. All right. So with all of this, obviously we're getting a level expansion. We're getting new potential levels. So with that, so I'm grouping that together, up to 120 and more potential levels. So now I think you've got 4 levels of potential you can do. Let's just call it at least 5. How you feel about that?
1.
Yeah, you're not looking for that at all, huh?
Doesn't elicit a feeling out of me at all. It just feels like it's just more stats and more.
Okay, that's fair.
Just another dynamic for them to potentially get people to spend again. It doesn't.
That is true.
No.
If I'm not looking at it that way, I have to admit I was liking this because I need particular stats, but I will drop this down to a 1, not only for the reason you gave, but if the stats I get mean nothing to me, which as we've seen, some of these potentials, depending on the character you're playing, will not be very beneficial. So we'll see how that shakes out. All right, next up, we got the Pegasus base and squad battle. You know, there's a few different things here. They've got the expedition function where they're talking about an autocomplete for your additional characters. They don't really go into exactly how this is going to work. So let me do the easy one first. Armory, more storage.
2.
Okay, I'm on the higher end of that. I'm at an 8 or 9 because
well, you're more of a hoarder than I am.
Fair.
And, for me, I've learned over the last 6 months how to like manage my inventory space optimally. I feel like at this point I have habits where there's certain stuff I open and delete and I'll break down to try to make space, and it's just like a habit I have. So I've done this well enough to the point where inventory space hasn't been an issue for me.
Okay, fair enough. So I guess depending how the type of player on depends that excitement. So let's come back to the harder one here because we don't know a lot about it other than it's an expedition. It's a mission auto completion feature where we can conveniently complete missions on your other heroes based on how far your main is. And I want 2 answers here. One, as you are currently in the game, given all you've already done, and if you're a newer player who maybe has not leveled as many up.
I have a love-hate relationship with this idea. I like that it's convenient and I dig it, but I guess the thing I don't like is I do feel like some of the auto features they should stay away from. I think the game already early into the game has an identity of being an auto only game. People don't understand as you level and you get further in the game that it's far from that. Yeah. But then it becomes that again. I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with the idea that but if it's stuff that's just grindy, I don't know. I feel like some of the auto stuff is abused too much. There's too much of it. There's a lot, just everything you can auto, I guess. I don't know. And
if it's too much of it, I get that. Last night I ran with some of our alliance mates leveling from 100 to 105 with a character. We just partied up, and I actually enjoyed that. And it was on some of our alts. I just feel like
bring back some of the, give us more one-hit mechanics and reasons to dodge and have to pay attention and make we need challenges. We don't need more auto content. Literally everything in PvE is auto already, and just more of it doesn't feel good to me anymore.
Okay, I think that's fair. So
but this is one thing that, depending on, I want to see it in action before I give final judgment. Maybe it's something that once I learn to, like, I will say this, auto farming, brilliant. Love it.
Yep, I agree with that. It depends how it's implemented. So TBD, I guess we'll say on that.
Yep.
So a part on here that we're still similar but different. It's not going to be autoable because it's going to be a PvP mode, squad battle. I will chime in with, I think that this really depends how they implement it, because I said in my video this could be for the 1%. But I'm curious to hear what you think of this. I do want to throw out there that it seems like it's not going to be your full squad, and they also talk about not implementing this until they know that our squads are strong enough. So I think we're going to get some more fodder to build up our squads, and I don't think it's going to be all 8, 9 of your characters. I think it's going to be, 3, 4, something like that. So having said that, where are you sitting?
Okay, so I kind of have two answers on this. I kind of like the luxury of being like, I went hard and focused on one character. The idea that to be in a competitive place, I have to do this again on 1, 2, who knows how many other characters. I don't like that idea.
Okay.
I hope it's not what it feels like it is, which is another reason for them to push us to level more characters to spend on, which I'm not into that at all. I refuse to spend on. I went in with a game plan, and it felt liberating to feel like I hit the ceiling with the character, and I'm like, I completed him. And to the extreme I took with testing and min-maxing and like dialing things in, the money I spent, everything, like I'm good on that. I don't want to do it with another character knowing what my investment was with this one.
Yeah.
But if it's done the right way, who knows, maybe I'll like it.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
To spend again. I refuse to spend.
Yeah,
whatever.
I think that's fair, and given what it takes to build up like you're talking, I think that is a great point. My hope here is that they don't expect us to have many of these characters in this, but maybe that there's a way that some of the characters could be more of a spec ops situation. Maybe your main is your or there's somehow they're leveled to your main. I don't know. They got to figure out the balance there, because like you said, if any of us, whether you're a cheap to play or a whale, who come in here and they're looking to do this, I think they're going to all be turned off on it. You know what I mean? And that's where it's like this is an opportunity for them to do a fun, hey, half send, let's you and I duke it out for fun for a little bit. Versus, oh my gosh, if I get top, if I rank number 1 in this, I get a cool title and a bunch of rewards I need. Yeah. Ugh, God, I don't really want to have to spend to do that. That's not what I'm looking for.
No, I mean, I have some gear in the bank from stuff that I didn't use that I can transmute over, but again, that I was mathing that out, all the gold it would take to get all the pieces over. It's just, I was just really put off by all of it.
I think it's fair. TBD, but I'm leaning towards this is probably going to be a tough one to really enjoy. All right, so the next one, I think, well, I'm not going to say what I think. Alliance content expansion. You'd bring in your alliance. It's a PvE game mode. It talks about you fight the first supervillain, and it spawns a stronger supervillain, which will continue to test the unity and strength of the alliance members. It will be based on the competition records of each alliance, and we'll see how many supervillains were defeated quickly. Various rewards, etc., etc. So, what are you thinking here? How are you feeling about it? We've been crying for some PvE content. This is something, but where's it land for you?
I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. The verbiage in there would allude to a high ceiling of challenge, and I'm gonna go 9 on this.
Okay.
This is something I was originally excited for when I thought this is what they framed Thanos Invasion to be. It was not that. They still did a good job with that game mode, but it missed the mark. And this being an alliance game mode, anything this game does to lean into more social interactions, especially within your alliance, is a good thing in my opinion. And if it has the bonus of being difficult, which it's gonna have to have, if it's an auto fest, it won't be fun.
Yeah.
If it has an unlimited ceiling where you can just keep going and going and going till you're finally defeated by something, that will go a long way, I think.
I agree.
I will give it a 9.
Yep. I concur. I'm looking very excited to this, and what I'm hoping as well is that team composition will matter. Doctor Strange's will matter. Debuffs, magics will matter, so that you can burn these things down. You know, calls like, all right, everybody throw your defense down, your, you know, the purple goo or whatever that magic has, and we all do it. Now burn, use your alts, do your big abilities, burn, 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 burn. Okay, all right, reset, go through your rotation. Wait, all right, debuffs are ready to go down. Burn, burn, burn. You know, that sort of like sequence coordination.
This could feel like a raid.
Yes,
too, you know?
yes, it could. An endless boss
this could
raid.
Scratch the itch that we've really wanted to have in PvE content, and I think if it has, if it's the first game mode to have an unlimited ceiling of difficulty, I think it will land on the mark, and we will be very happy with it. Especially with it's another reason for us to be in Discord, and it's not at the expense of anyone. It's literally who can beat the AI computer.
Yep.
It's not another dark zone thing where there's politics and garbage that people gotta figure out. Like, well, I want to play it this way. Well, I want to play it that way. It's literally, it's just a competition for rankings and stuff, and Invasion did it well. I think this has a lot of potential.
I concur with your assessment there. So the next section's a bunch of stuff about hero balance. You know, it talks about iframes, target off, whatever you want to call them. The long and short of this is that they're talking about how they're thinking about how to balance the game. They didn't want to remove iframe / target off abilities. I'm okay with that. How you feel? Good.
I agree, and the caveat I took from this whole thing was that they purposely took an excerpt to say what they that the Doctor Strange people were heard. We hear you. Yeah. We're going to do something about it. Like, it's acknowledged. Yes. I guess that's the best word. The acknowledgement that we see that this exists and we missed the mark. We realize that we made a mistake, in so many words is what they said, and we will rectify it. It does, however, give me the vibes that he's going to end up being the next Star-Lord. I would agree on that. So I'm optimistic. I'm glad they're looking at it, but this is one of those things. Great that you're saying this stuff. I want to see what you do. Okay, next up, they've got some rewards for some Convergium, which kind of flows into the more difficult raids. Another PvE thing. We're getting 2 more levels of raids. How you feeling on that? Long time coming. Holy smokes. And I hope if I wish they would just do away with this. They need content that just scales indefinitely, and I think they should do away with the ceiling on the difficulty and just go full bore. And I understand that this mode has rewards tied to each difficulty, but maybe there is a way where they could figure out an alternative to that and keep the thing with PvP is that it always scales. You know, if you get stronger, obviously so does your competition. PvE currently does not have a way to do that, and they've only thrown more and more things in the hope to make monetary gains financially by adding in companions and all these new things that give us incremental power, while all of the content we're fighting with an AI attached to it has not scaled at all. So they need something that they don't have to keep going back in and fixing as they throw more things for us to buy and get incremental power. Yeah, I agree. Don't make me just buy something because I want to beat up Half-Send or fight Half-Send. Make me want to beat up, you know, Thanos. So absolutely. And I hope not only do they do that, but it just feels like it should be in their wheelhouse. I mean, take some of the Invasion dynamics they've had, throw Thanos in there, throw somebody else, like throw some other. I think, and they need to go hard when they do it. We've had these same 5 right? I think it's 5 anyway. We've had these same characters.
For the raids. Yep. Since soft launch.
6 months of this, like, wow. I'm like, I'm totally disconnected from it. I would say I did a video on Most Wanted. I would say that now I'm in the moment of thinking about it, that raids are less fun than Most Wanted. And
I
that's
agree.
saying something.
Yep. Raids
And
are
that's saying something.
the raids are the use for the next thing I'm bringing up is to get your specialization. So
Yeah.
they're working on, and this should be coming next week. It looks like the specialization enhancement failure situation. Long and short of this one is that they're going to find a way to basically, the more you fail, the better chance you have to succeed. So if you fail a couple times, your percentages will keep going up. How you feel?
Yeah. 9 on this.
Yep.
They should have done it a long time ago.
Concur.
Yeah, 9.
Concur.
Don't get me wrong. Glad they're doing it. It just, yikes. A lot of feel bad moments for a lot of people leading up to this.
Yep.
I've heard some horror stories and I have my own. So
All right, so a very, very critical one on this list is the rewards for clearing the first battle challenge. How long have we been screaming about this?
has it taken this long to talk about round 1 rewards for battle challenge?
You tell me.
Oh,
This has
been an issue since the introduction of the game.
Yeah. I can't even believe the game got launched without these, frankly.
This is specifically how it's worded. Round 1 of battle challenge. Someone was in a meeting and felt this was one of the major shortcomings that needed its own entry into the dev notes. I had to actually go and look to see what they were because it's round 1. This is the most, to this date, the most odd improvement that I've ever seen. Unnecessary. Apparently at some point this was an issue to someone that had a voice.
Yeah.
And either someone had a loud voice or a bunch of people but it's getting fixed.
Yep. Now, I don't know. I think we may or may not have talked about this. I can't remember. And I don't want to give us too much credit for anything here. But remember the video we did when we were talking about the population and some of the numbers based on the battle challenge and doing it?
Yeah.
Part of me thought in the back of my head is there actually something to that where they actually want to make sure that we know there are more people playing and they're just not playing battle challenge and this is their incentive to do that? But I was like, nah, that's like
take long to make it past round 1.
I know, it's so weird. So anyway, okay, so yeah, we don't get that one, but I'm like, okay, thanks.
Yeah, if I could give that a 0, I'd probably it's a non-issue. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
you know what?
It's fun to talk about.
Comment below, please, if we're missing this. That's something I want to know from somebody. I'd love to know.
I've read this entry over actually a couple times because it sounds so profoundly trivial that I just thought, am I missing something? I'm looking at it again.
I'm in the same boat. I don't get it. It's first round. It might be. And this is the thing we talked about last night. And I don't recall if you were there or not, but we were talking, is this just one time or is it each week? Some people thought it was just one time. Like you do a battle challenge your first time because it talks about retroactively. But I think the retroactive is because the patches are normally on a Wednesday. So if anybody does it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, they get that.
Okay.
We're spending too much time on this one. Let's move past it. All right. So the next one we've got is improvement on the most wanted spawn information. It doesn't say what it is. I'm yay. I don't know. I'm not sure, but any thoughts?
Fix your game mode first before you care about the information about it.
Yeah, I just
Most Wanted's it's a bad game mode already, and better information about it is unnecessary. When I read it, it was another one that I'm like, I don't know what you mean. It literally tells me when the thing spawns.
Yeah, so what
I look for it on the map and I click and I go and kill it in 3 seconds. Or I hope that I do.
Yeah, if unless somebody else kills it before you.
Yeah, somebody else. It's another thing, for some reason someone thought there wasn't enough information being provided upon spawning of a Most Wanted.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is so maybe they say they spawn every couple. I don't know. But I agree. I didn't think this was a huge issue, but we'll see.
There's so many other problems with that game mode that are easily fixed that just seems incredibly low priority.
Yeah.
So
the next one,
that's a 0. Another 0.
I would concur with that. We'll see what it is, but right now I don't get why. So the next one I do think is pretty nice. The auto battle is going to include ultimates and companion summons. I think it's cool.
I dig it.
Yep.
I dig it. It's I mean, we've lived this long without it. It wasn't something I knew I wanted until I read it, and then I was like, well, I'll say this. I mean, we do auto farming. It's one of those things where it's like, man, I have these two mechanics I'm unable to access while I'm auto farming, but big deal. Don't really need them. Iron Man's ult is intrusive for me a little bit. I don't know that's really helpful for farming. But to have the option, cool. I rate this a 6. Like,
yeah, that's fair.
I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. It's not right in the middle. We'll give it a 6.
Yeah, as a widow, I'd probably give it a 7 or 8, but I feel you. I think that's
yeah. For a widow, I feel like this is very class dependent. For a widow, definitely bigger deal.
Yep, to be able to pop that alt off and get more crits where you're just auto farming or something, that'd be that's I mean, I'd even like it because, well, I guess it depends on the sequence of my skills, but regardless, I like it. Now, there's only one answer for this next one, and I hope you give it, okay? Because if you don't, you and I are gonna have to have a conversation later.
Okay.
Integrated preset edition. For individual presets for all those skills, Omega cards, costumes, they're gonna make basically all these different things. You're going to be able to link them to one. So your number 2 skill, your number 3 card, your number 2 companion, whatever it is, you're going to be able to, the way I interpret this is click one button and get all of those. How do you feel about that?
Let me see. 11!
Yes!
11,
You nailed it!
11.
I knew you were going to get it. Oh, that's why I love you so much.
Oh my God.
So good, right? So good.
I got tinglies just feeling like, because the assumption is it's going to be right on the front of the interface, and on the fly we can just switch from PvP and PvE, and that's a big deal. It does feel though intuitively like it's going to bog you down for a second when it flips everything over. If you've ever noticed, there's a little bit of a lag. You'll maybe notice it with Omega cards, like when you're swapping them over. And I just imagine this is going to be out of combat only, which is fine. There are some game modes, though, where you're not able to access that very easily once it starts. But for the most part, I feel like this is a wildly good thing. And how many times have we accidentally zoned into Omega War with PvE cards on? I do it at least once a week. And a big deal.
I'm stoked about that one. Yeah. Oh man. Yep. All right. Next up, not as exciting, but fine. Skip sequence improvement. You can auto no sequence, so you don't have to remind people to skip scenes. Yay.
Yeah, I feel like on the occasion that I'm watching the blitz go down, I do click it. And the only other time I really care about it is when I'm doing DPS testing on Kingtron. And I click it then. To have that auto to just take out that little bit of annoyance is cool. I give it a I'm gonna give it a 6 because it's not like a game breaking anything, but it still should be good. It's a little thing that I'm still gonna appreciate. I'm not gonna say it's like not impactful anyway. Thank you. It's a quality of life thing. Glad you stuck it in there.
Yeah, I would have given it a 9 2 or 3 months ago. Now I'm like a 7.
No,
it's kind of like, all right.
Same thing with the inventory space for me. It's like, okay, thank you for throwing us a bone. Like,
I agree. Now the last one is sort of just some sort of app capacity optimization. Just sounds like there's some graphic things they're working through. I don't know the details behind it. I just hope it doesn't script. The graphics are pretty. I don't know if you've got any feelings on it, but it is the final point that they've got in here. What are your thoughts? If you
I'm going to give it a 4. It doesn't feel as something that affects me that I'm aware of. However, if it helps other people out, then I'm not going to, it would be non-empathetic for me to give it any other score, So at the end of the day, if it's helpful for people are experiencing an issue with this, and this is a fix for that, then thumbs up. I'm glad that they're addressing it.
Yep, I concur. That's the way I'm looking at it. And anybody out there, I hope it makes their game a little bit less laggy, etc. And that everybody
I don't want
enjoys
to say, well, it doesn't affect me, so I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Try to put yourself in someone else's shoes just in case it does affect them.
Yeah.
So that's all they got. They ended up with a poll. Go check out the poll. It kind of says the thing you're most excited about. And I guess that's how I'm going to end it with you is what of these items are you most excited about? You get one answer. What is it?
Man, that's a tough one because I gave the 11.
Doesn't have to be that one though.
Yeah, so I feel like a quality of life thing's a little unfair, but the alliance wave mechanic. If I could, okay, this is how to simplify my answer. If I could have something right now, I could say, I could tell Netmarble, here's my one thing that I can have in the game immediately at this very moment, and that means everything else would take a little bit longer. If I could have some upfront short-term gratification to quickly implement a new thing, it would be the Alliance PvE wave thing. It just sounds like fun, and I want to dive into it. So
agreed.
I would forego the luxury of being able to switch over all my cards and all that stuff in one button in order to start playing a new PvE game mode right now. Oh man, I've been chomping at the bit for this for so long.
Yep, I concur. I agree, and that's why I heart you and think you're an amazing human. Well, that's not why. There's many reasons I think you're an amazing human. Everybody should get to know you if they don't already. Why don't you tell everybody where they can find you in case they don't know?
I appreciate that. And half send, the S in send is a 5 because marketing. So yeah, that's where you can find me. We have a Discord, same name. I probably start Twitch streaming again soon. Feeling that out. And I'm thinking about dipping my toes in playing some other games as well.
The LA
Lost Ark's coming. Yeah, like there's some other stuff. I'm just a big RPG guy at heart, so I'm probably going to be playing some more Dungeons and Dragons too, other games. Yeah, so I've I feel like this one thing I like about this game is that on a lot of levels, unless you're super into it, it can be non-intrusive if you prefer, where you can play it for an hour and bang out the stuff that you think is important, and maybe you don't do spec ops, you don't do a couple things, like no big deal.
Yeah.
So
I concur. That's one of the reasons I like it as well. Now, granted, we've been playing for, many more than 1 hour a night because we all hang out on Discord, but that's because of the social aspect that we just like to hang out together.
That's our own decision. And at the end of the day, we're probably missing out on very little because of it.
Yeah.
It's just purely because we enjoy playing the game socially with one another, and that's it. I bet you the benefit to our characters or meta gameplay is minimal at best that we get out of it. It's just that we really enjoy playing together.
I agree. So I appreciate you. Thank you for coming by again. Love doing this stuff with you.
Man. I love having these conversations.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, it's funny. I was like, yeah, let's do a 15-minute video. We're 34 minutes in. All right, cool. That's fine. So as always, anybody who's still watching, thank you. We appreciate you. Check out the Discord link in the description below. Hammer on like buttons, click notification bells. Till next time, hope you have a wonderful day. See ya.
Okay, bye.